Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and yes, we are starting out 36 hours live, and I am learning some new technology, so bear with me. However, we have 36 hours of streaming live activity that I know is going to inspire, it's going to thrill, it's going to motivate, and it's going to explain what Chemo Buddies for Life is all about. I am the executive director and now have been promoted to be called the president and co-founder of this 501c3 nonprofit that is dedicated to see that no one faces cancer alone. In fact, we have produced an opening act for you. And that is what I was getting ready to share. So without further ado, let me get that to go live. Let's see here. Let's bring it up to the line. And let's see. We know that there will be a time that no one has to ever hear you have cancer and then feel afraid, isolated, and alone.
When I was going through chemo, I felt as if nobody understood what I was going through.
We all need a buddy, and people that have cancer need a buddy more than ever.
We're kicking cancer to the curb, and we're doing it through Chemo Buddies for Life.
Hold me like the river Jordan, and I will then say to thee, you are my friend. Carry me, you're my heart. Love me like a mother. Will you be there?
Thank you for being here with us and supporting Chemo Buddies for Life. This 36 hours is going to be entertaining. I love everybody participating. Thank you for supporting and enjoy the entertainment and the heart that went into preparing this event.
So I want to encourage you guys to please either be a buddy or even donate, because every time you donate, somebody else can support through this entire thing.
Hear me, tell me will you hold me? When wrong will you scold me? When lost will you find me?
But they told me I'm meant to be faithful and walk when I'm able and fight till the end, but I know that you'll run.
I have lost an aunt, I've lost uncles, I've lost my grandparents, and I lost my wife to cancer. And I know how difficult it is to be in a situation to hear those words, you have cancer.
So if you know anyone who's going through this, if you know that they're going through a hard time and you can't be there for them every single second of the day, Chemo Buddies for Life is there for you.
Everything was taking control of me. Things that don't work out don't roll for me. I'm so confused when you show to me. You'll be there for me. Giving up the family.
I just want to cry because most of us think that we're alone. And, you know, that is a huge breakthrough and just insight of, you know what? A lot of people know what it's like.
And it's fantastic, the two of you have been.
It's muted.
Such opportunities for me to remember my best friend and all the people I've walked the journey with.
Encouraging support, Tamara L Hunter, Chemo Buddies for Life.
And so I'm doing my part to pay it forward and be a part here and help them raise funds. So donate now and help us to be able to achieve a great thing, and that is make a difference in somebody's life.
Chemo Buddies for Life means community. strength in numbers, a family to support, grow, love, and be there. So will you be there?
Well, we may have to try that again. It seems like we're having a problem with some sound, but you know, the show must go on. So I am right now multi-streaming on multiple platforms, and so I can't typically see what I normally see on Facebook alone. So I am checking to see right now a sound check on Facebook. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know. And then we're going to try it again another time. So let me know as soon as we have a little bit of a delay. And you know, we're going to be here for 36 hours. So we're going to get plenty of time to play, guys. So let's, yes, sound on Facebook. Okay, so I am actually going to thrill you guys. Ha ha. Wink, wink. Thriller. We are going to try this one more time. And I might going to get the earplugs out. I don't need them right now. We are going to bring that amazing video back up. And hopefully you'll be able to hear it because it is incredible. So one more time, let me get that started here. And people that have cancer need a okay, so give me a moment. We're going to do this, and please let me know if you hear it. We know that there will be a time that no one has to ever hear you have cancer and then feel afraid, isolated, and alone.
When I was going through chemo, I felt as if nobody understood what I was going through.
We all need a buddy, and people that have cancer need a buddy more than ever.
We're kicking cancer to the curb, and we're doing it through Chemo Buddies for life.
Hold me like the river Jordan, and I will then say to thee, you are my friend. Carry me like you're my heart. Love me like a mother. Will you be there?
Thank you for being here with us and supporting Chemo Buddies for Life. This 36 hours is going to be entertaining. I love everybody participating. Thank you for supporting and enjoy the entertainment and the heart that went into preparing this event.
So I want to encourage you guys to please either be a buddy or even donate, because every time you donate, it's somebody else getting support through this entire thing.
Hear me, tell me, will you hold me? When wrong, will you scold me? When lost, will you find me?
But they told me I'm meant to be faithful and walk when I'm able and fight to the end, but I know that you must.
I have lost an aunt. I've lost uncles. I've lost my grandparents, and I lost my wife to cancer. And I know how difficult it is to be in a situation to hear those words, you have cancer.
So if you know anyone who's going through this, if you know that they're going through a hard time and you can't be there for them every single second of the day, Chemo Buddies for Life is there for you.
Every was taking control of me. 6 times for one, got on roll for me. I'm so confused when you showed to me. You'll be there for me. Giving up the
I just want to cry because most of us think that we're alone. And, you know, that is a huge breakthrough and just insight of, you know what? A lot of people know what it's like.
And it's fantastic the two of you have been able to formulate this care. And I'm hoping that others will kind of take your lead and see the benefit of pairing up.
I am so impressed how this lady took something, cancer of all things, and she turned it into a positive. She found a chemo buddy. During her experience, she was able to find support that way. And now she's passionate about bringing that to others. So please, I know that you know somebody that's struggling with cancer. They shouldn't have to feel like they're going through it alone.
One thing that I think is so great about Chemo Buddies is the community. And through that community, you truly get a lot of support.
it gives hope and healing and a place for people that are going through chemo and cancer to have a support system, and I'm so thankful for it.
Chemo Buddies for Life has brought such opportunities for me to remember my best friend and all the people I've walked the journey with.
Encouraging support Tamara L Hunter, Chemo Buddies for Life.
And so I'm doing my part to pay it forward and be a part here and help them raise funds. So donate now and help us to be able to achieve a great thing, and that is make a difference in somebody's life.
Chemo Buddies for Life means to unity, strength in numbers, a family to support, grow, love, and be there. So will you be there?
Will you be there? Good question. I know I'm going to be here for you that are out there. For the next 36 hours, we have produced a full lineup of shows, of programming, of entertainment, and inspiration. You're going to hear about stories. You're going to hear about people that have heard those 3 words, you have cancer, and how it doesn't have to define you. So many people out there have heard them. Too many people have heard them. And yet, what have we done? We have bound together. We are creating a community of like-minded people that are saying, we no longer are letting you, cancer, have the power. We are kicking that power to the curb. In fact, I've got someone here right now that's going to be joining me, and she says it even better than I do.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Angel.
So happy to have you with us, and thank you for joining us. You know, I wanted to bring you on today because I am actually going to, while you are talking, we are going to be displaying a phone number because you are over a full team of people, and you are going to be joining me along with a couple of others. Wink, wink. We're going to be talking to them too. That you are going to be here the whole 36 hours, right, Barbara?
Yes, I am. I have to be on call for everybody. I want to be there for you guys. So yes, we are ready and ready for this part, like you said.
Absolutely. So let's do this. We are going to create a banner right now, and we're going to put our phone number. We have a toll-free number that is there, and you have people manning the phones right now for the old-fashioned, if you will. I love it, like the telethon thought, right?
Yes, the Jerry Lewis. I always think about that.
Yes, I do too. In fact, yes, there it is, the toll-free number, and here we go. All you have to do is pick up your phone, and we have volunteers around the clock that are there to hear you, to be able to help you to do what we are here to do, and that is raise funds to be able to take Chemo Buddies for Life global, to be able to help those people that have heard those 3 words. Now, you understand what that's all about, right, Barbara?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because the biggest thing that I've been, just real quickly, I've been in remission for cancer the last 9 years. And at the time when I heard those 3 words, I have cancer from my doctor. Basically, I didn't have all the support that was needed. So I know the big deal of having that healing through connections, as we're always saying. So this is really a passion of mine as well, because I want to make sure that every person is not alone when they go through that first step, when they find out about if they're having cancer, going through that journey.
Right. Because, there really are too many that are facing it alone. And in that piece that I want to say thank you to Skip Thomas, who was the one that did the producing of that video. And yes, your eyes did not deceive you that we had Jeff Steinberg, who is a masterpiece in progress. He was featured in this, and MJ's Raven, the only woman impersonator of Michael Jackson. Yes, she is a supporter. She is a buddy, and she is there with us. And she said, yes, let's do this. So the doctor that was featured in that video is actually my doctor.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
Yeah, actually my doctor. And I really want that to be seen and understood, because we're going to be featuring that video quite a bit through this 36 hours. And the woman that I'm interacting with is actually my original buddy, the other co-founder, yes, Martha. And so between the footage that Skip was able to, if you will, share, I was thrilled to see it, because I didn't get to see it until last evening. It was a bit of a surprise, and to see the footage that we filmed over 2 years ago, when we started really looking at the need for this. And it was our doctor, Dr. Smith, Dr. Wade Smith, that convinced us. He convinced us. It took us a while to do this, and it's been truly, as many know, a true act of love, because what he shared was that they saw people that were feeling alone and isolated, and not being necessarily the sickest ones, that didn't necessarily make it because they felt isolated, alone, and they lost hope.
Yeah. And that's the biggest key, like you said, losing hope when you're by yourself, because all those thoughts are there and there's nobody to really kind of reel you in to kind of say, you know what, I'm here for you. Don't lose hope. You have a purpose here. You are going to, live the way you're going to live, whatever you're going to do. And between that, we're going to make sure you're smiling and make sure that you're doing things that you want to do. So that's why it's so important to have that connection. So important. We don't want people losing hope. We don't want them to be alone. We don't want them to get depressed, because like you said, that's a dead life when you think about it. And we don't want that to happen at all. Cancer is not the person's identity. It's just the cancer part. Your identity is you. You're the important one.
So what is it that you actually said in that? I know that you're always saying you're going to kick cancer. What was the phrase that you used? Let's just go there.
Yeah, I knew you were going to take me there. I always say we're kicking cancer in the butt.
And I thought, did I hear that right? You said we're kicking it to the.
Well, I said kicking it to the curb in the video. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, she's being a little tame here, so we're going to bring her on and we're going to go there. Because I
knew you were going to do that to me. But
I love the energy. I love it, because what we're doing here, guys, if you haven't figured it out, is this is our second annual Giving Tuesday Give-A-Thon. We renamed it this year, and we're doing it for 36 hours. We're borrowing 12 hours from Cyber Monday, yes, to then leap into Giving Tuesday, rounding it up at midnight Pacific time, because that's where we're originating this from. And the idea is this: is we have two goals, right, Barbara? We've been talking about this. We actually have our coach, a couple of the coaches that I was able to win with the Next Impactor, the first global say that fast 3 times, Tamara. The first global Next Impactor, and one of which is Jason Cisneros. And he has been working with us, and we have been meeting every week, right?
Yes. He has been making sure we are on track.
Yeah.
And I loved every minute of it because we got to this point. So, I mean, if it wasn't for him and you and all the other wonderful volunteers and being on that call every single week on Wednesday night, I'm going to miss it. I thought about it the other day. I'm like, what am I going to do my Wednesday night now?
You know what? We're gonna continue it if everybody's game, because we've got the 3rd annual to produce, and the goal here, guys, mark our words, write it on the calendar. We are putting it out there. The intention is being made, and the stake is in the cement. It's not even in the sand. We are going to own Giving Tuesday, and we will become the updated version of the Jerry Lewis Telethon. It's time for it to happen.
Yes.
And cancer affects everyone. And we are a movement of people that our movement includes the patients, of which you and I are both survivors.
Yes.
And then the people that love and support the patient.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Equally important, if not overly overlooked.
Yes.
And many times they end up sicker than the patient because they're wearing themselves out, and they don't have a support system.
Yes.
And we need to make sure that that's not happening.
Yes.
And so when you combine the two, that is just about everybody in the world, because 1 in every 2 men and 1 in every 3 women, according to the American Cancer Society's numbers in 2018, they said, will hear those words, "You have cancer."
Yeah.
So I like to joke around a lot, right? So do you. So, okay, so let's look at this realistically, guys.
Okay.
A guy, 1 in every 2. Okay, so you have the patient, and let's say he's got 1 friend.
Okay.
That's 100%, right? Right there for the guy.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, now
Mhm.
girls are a little bit more social. So 1 in every 3. So we've got the patient, and they probably have 2 friends.
So we're being nice.
Yeah, okay, so we're doubling the friends here, guys. Wink, wink. And so that's again 100%. So we're
Wow.
talking everybody, and these are American statistics, and we're talking the world. So when you look at it, people, we hear all the time, well, what's your avatar? What is, narrow it down, niche it down, like with your diamond movement, niche it down. Who is it that is your avatar? How do you niche that one, Barbara?
Oh boy. Well, first of all, I love to empower women to understand their passion, purpose, and drive. So just like you and a lot of other women that are trying to figure out if they want to start their own business or have their business booming, they want to move up more. That's why I had to niche it down. I just couldn't hit everybody because a lot of people don't have that little, like that passion to say, I want to start my own business, or I have a cause like Chemo Buddies for Life. So that's why I had to niche it down to people like you, Tamir, that really would be the diamond factor that I call it.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so with the fact that you were able to do that, right? Okay, and most businesses do. Mm-hmm. Most businesses, I've had businesses. I was a recruiter, headhunter, high level stuff. You talk about a funnel. I understood the funnel very well. And you come from the corporate world, and you have to think that way. When you think about this movement, the only people that right now we are actually not able to completely serve, yet we will at some point, are the children.
Yeah.
The children right now, we are not going to be including in the adult movement for obvious reasons. So we will eventually have their own subset or their own Chemo Buddies. And we have that all prepared. We have characters, we have storylines, we have it ready to go, guys. We have programs, we have social proof. We can share that we are making a difference, and the only thing we now are lacking are the funds. Yes. And so that's why we are doing what we're doing, why I've committed, why you have committed, why Aaron, I know you're watching, get ready to come on at some point here soon. And many of our other volunteers have said, okay, yeah, if you guys are doing this and staying up, it's that important to me too.
Yes.
And so what we will be doing, and I'm going to welcome you to come on throughout the show at different times. We will be checking in with you to see if people are calling in, because you're actually able to help them. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our website real fast and screen share. And while I do, why don't you talk a little bit about your team that you have put together and assembled to be the calling team?
Well, basically, we have reached out, and it's just so awesome how people, when they see that something is really important, like Chemo Buddies for Life, how people will come and say, you know what, I'm going to give my time for this. I don't, whatever you wanted me to do. Usually you can't find too many people just say whatever you want me to do. There's certain things that they're like, well, I can do this and maybe that. But the people I called out, I said, I need a call team to make sure that we are manning these calls, that there are the wonderful people that are coming in to donate or want to go or be a chemo buddy. So when I put the call out there, and I know everybody's probably been seeing my post on Facebook, if you know me real well, or even if you don't know me that well, you've probably seen posts going out there just saying, how important this, I call this a movement, but this organization is. And from that, we recruited over 20 people that is really able to take the time out. I mean, this is 36 hours that we're doing, and they're taking the time out, even the wee hours of the night, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. We have people that are going to be on standby to be able to take your call if you need help getting on the website, as we brought it up here, and understanding, where you can donate, or you could be a chemo buddy. And there's some other things, but the two main things, we're looking for is those two. We don't want anybody to have a problem trying to manipulate the system. And we know how that is with technology and stuff. So we're here to support you and to be there for you. When you call in, you'll get a friendly, smiling face saying, hey, this is Chemo Buddy. How can we help you? And the biggest thing is to make sure that you are there. You're getting appreciated by giving a donation, because we know that's coming from your heart, and we truly, truly honor and appreciate that.
Yes, we do. And yes, they are ready to receive the phone calls. This is the landing page, the front opening page of our website, which we are going to be, I'm going to be creating, here, let me create another banner so we can do the cb4l.org. We've been sharing that everywhere, and we are, let's see here, cb4l.org. Anybody know what that stands for? Yeah. We're trying to make things easy, because we've got a long name, and we understand that. So we thought, okay, if we can brand to keep things easy, we are a movement that is truly think big, going to be as big, if not bigger, than even Make-A-Wish and some of the others. We are going to do it. Mark our words. So we, this is still in the newer phases. So let me take you down. So here we go. We've been featured in a lot of press, and on ABC News out of LA, Spectrum News out of Riverside County, Southern California. Yes, we are streaming live from the website and YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, the website, are a couple of places in Facebook. We want you to be all sharing it out. Share it with your friends. We have here 3 testimonials of some of our buddies, of which you may have recognized a couple of them were featured in our opening act. And then we have the bar. We have here Giving Tuesday Countdown. Yes, it is now time. So the clock has now ran out and we are live. We are going to be coming back to this bar throughout the 36 hours.
Yes.
We are not going to be shy about our goals because we know we have the programs, we have the coaches, we have what many are calling the dream team of volunteers, some of the very top in so many different categories that are giving their time and their energy for this movement. And so the one thing when I won the grand prize from the very first Global Next Impactor, we won resources. We did not win cash. And to do anything, basically, let's just be honest, it does take cash. So we are a good nonprofit to get behind because we are not bloated. The funds are going to the programs, and we are front line and center to those people that are truly feeling isolated and alone, afraid and scared, and calling out in the middle of the night and saying, how am I going to do this?
Yes.
Anywhere in the United States or the world.
Yes.
We are preparing to go global, yet we need the funds. So we have made it very clear, and we've got the bar set for $50,000 in 36 hours. We can do that. Don't you think, Barbara?
Yes, we can. I know I sound like a slogan, but yes, we can do this. This could be done. I mean, even if each person, when you think about it, if you have maybe 100 people that just gave maybe $10 or something like that, that adds up. Every amount counts right now. So please, like Tamara said, we are trying to help people to make sure that they are not alone through the cancer journey. And like she said, money is needed. So we're looking for that from you. And that's why we're not asking like, okay, give this amount, this amount. We want to come from your heart, whatever it is, but whatever comes, please, give towards this awesome, I'm telling you, awesome organization.
It would be huge, and we've got some really great situations going that anybody that decides to make us their cause marketing, we all know, is a very real option for solid businesses. And at the end of the year, kicking off the giving season and going into Giving Tuesday, which Giving Tuesday, we're going to talk about the history of it in just a moment. It's a phenomenon. It is a movement in itself, and we are supporting it by going live at this time. And we want to bring other companies along with us. Yes. We want to make sure that it's a good match, because to us, our name may be Chemo Buddies because you saw in that image, in that video, that I met my buddy in a chemotherapy room when I went through chemotherapy because I was diagnosed with cancer and I chose traditional. Not everybody does. So it's very important for you to understand that our name is modeled after the two original buddies. However, it doesn't matter if you choose traditional, alternative, or adjunctive treatments for your possible cancer or those people that you love and support. Our stand is you've got to believe in your treatment.
Yes.
And don't do it alone.
No.
Come home. Come to where we kick the scary away. We kick cancer to the curb. We get rid of that monster and we make them a Monster Inc., if anything. Because, you know what? Collectively, the power is pretty incredible. And over the next 36 hours, go to the event page. You'll be able to see many of the people that are involved. We have people that you will actually be able to learn about adjunctive. What does adjunctive mean? Did you, when you were going through your medical treatments, did you do any type of adjunctive therapies?
No, not too much. I just, went through the surgery of it. But the biggest thing that I found out is that even with the nurses and doctors, just want to go back to that because I want to thank them. I keep thanking them because I didn't, like I said, I didn't have really any family and friends to really support or people like the Chemo Buddy. If I knew about the Chemo Buddy, then OMG.
No, right.
It's been a whole nother story. But that's why this is my passion. And but the doctors, I'm telling you, Tamara, and the nurses, how they really, really had that bedside manner, as you call it. Sometimes you don't get that either. And I was very blessed to have that because I didn't have that support. And, I thought about it when I was laying in the bed and I was about to go to surgery because I had to have hysterectomy done because I had uterus cancer. I was laying in the bed and it was dark in the room. And, I was only there all alone. I was like, wow, no one's not going to really understand what I'm going through, or if something happens, who's going to know? And as soon as I said that, a nurse walked in. They had to come in and do the blood work. But she looked at me, it's funny because it was dark, and she took the curtain, she said, "Hush, we're opening these curtains. It's too dark in here. This is not a morgue."
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, just the light of that alone helped me, and just got that idea of how I was getting in that depressed mode and feeling like I was lonely. As soon as she came in there and opened them curtains and said, "This is not a morgue. You are not dead at all. You are not. You are alive." And I was like, "You're right. I am still here. What am I doing?" So that's why it's so important. That's why this is I don't want to go to the crying mode because I will do that.
I know. It's easy to do. It's easy to do.
It's a real deepness in me. And I know, especially because she started this wonderful organization, because of feeling that way. It's not a good feeling. I felt that way for a few minutes. Just think about somebody feeling that way for days and weeks as they're going through this journey. They might not make it to that point because all those thoughts get in your mind. So we have to have that person in the middle. It is healing to connection. It really is.
Absolutely. And in fact, I'm going to share in just a moment here another screen share that the story of Chemo Buddies for Life, it actually is bigger than even my story. It's a generational story. It's a story that I have heard those 3 words for not only myself, and I've shared it. I've heard it for all through one line, my grandfather and my mother, of which they both passed of it. For my brother and myself, which only 2 siblings. And for my daughter, when she was 19, my brother and my daughter and myself were all cancer champions, conquerors, right? And yes, that's the word. Yet to lose people to the beast, and the way that it was done, it was pretty impactful to me. And the why behind the why is usually what drives us.
Yes.
And the why behind the why of Chemo Buddies for Life. My original buddy, very, very funny. We just had such a great time, and believe it or not, we made the chemotherapy room a party room. They called us the party bus, and double trouble.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we had coconut bras hanging from the chemo poles, but with that said, the reality of it is that too many people are facing it alone, like you said, like you did, and your nurses, you had that amazing nurse, and you shared your experience before. My mother is the why behind the why, and when we didn't know she had cancer until the very, very end, yet she had it most likely a year. And she had a pneumonia, and I was going through my chemotherapy, and she was taken out of the house, and she had superbugs, so she wasn't allowed back in because it could have been deadly for me. And so they kept her away. And the story goes is that she was in tremendous pain. And because of the superbugs where she had them, she became a screamer. She was very intelligent, but she was kind of out of her mind. She didn't understand. And they didn't treat her nicely at all. At all. My mom, who had been nearly a VP level for FedEx, she had gone through the traditional business round in HR through Roadway Express, Roadway Packaging Services, FedEx, and she had helped so many people in their careers throughout the Western states and the United States. And here's a woman that basically was just put in a corner somewhere and to be forgotten. My daughter and I were possibly I was going through treatment and she was possibly reoccurring, so they weren't letting us go. And the whole last year, all I kept getting, and I lost my voice to chemo sores on my vocal cords, and my voice has never been the same. And so when they would call and they'd say, do something about it, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do about it? They literally treated her so poorly that I, to this day, every single day, I work from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed because of the fact I couldn't do anything for her. She went into the hospital at the beginning of the year when I was going through active chemotherapy in January at slightly over 100 pounds. And by the time she came back 10 days before she passed, of which I convinced them to finally I had to agree to have gloves on and be protected, but I was finally able to let her come home because she lived with me. She lived in this room where I film. And she was 69 pounds. She was 69 pounds. She looked like she had been in a concentration camp. You could just see that she wasn't taken care of. And there was nothing I could do about it. So, you think about why we do something.
Yes.
And why this is important.
Yes.
We didn't have the resources at the time. I didn't have people that I could necessarily just call and say, hey, can you go over and, that we're not possibly could be affected. My daughter and I couldn't go. We didn't have we had one neighbor that went every once in a while, and those are the only pictures that I have.
Wow.
Is from when she went, and that was it. And so you see, yes, we need this community, this family, this group of like-minded people that are going to say no more. I'm not going to let a family member, though I may not know that person intimately right now, that person is a part of that person's a buddy. Yeah, that person's a buddy.
I mean to stop you, but every time, because I know your story, and every time I hear that story of the why behind the why, as you say so gracefully, you are such an inspiration to me. I just want you to really hone that in right now and know how much inspiration you are to others. I mean, to go through, like you said, not only just you having the cancer, but your daughter, and then dealing with your mother and how they were treating her, and then your grandfather. I mean, that's a lot on one individual. And then to turn around, go through it yourself, deal, with your mother, what she was dealing with, deal with your daughter, deal with your grandfather, and then say, with all that, I want to start this organization because of that. And look at how you're just standing tall and you're the leadership of leaders. So I have to express that. And I want everybody to know on this live, you see how much we're drawn to this because of this lady. So thank you so much again for sharing your story, because a lot of people, they feel like they don't want to do that because, it's just a lot of things. And I get it. But I feel like your story and my story and people that are out open doing it is giving hope to the people that are in those dark places, as we say, that feel like they don't have anybody. We're here for you. This organization is here for you. And we're calling it out right now because we want you to know that you are not alone at all.
Right. So what we want you to do right now is go to the website.
Yes.
The website, cb4l.org.
Call.
Yes, and call. Yes, let me get that. And toll-free number. We have a toll-free number and a team that are going to be here to help you to donate. We have on our website, we've made it very easy. We take PayPal. We have a merchant account. We are a very equal opportunity dollar, I want to say employer because that's my old world, but, acceptor of funds. And we even have, because we are international, we actually are going to be streaming live from Toronto and from Australia this year. Last year we did from the UK and I think another location. And so, this is truly a global movement that is all about the one. And what are we doing this for? Why are we doing this? Where are your funds going to go? Think of a matching site comes to like a social media platform and is accessible through any smartphone throughout the world. That there are places throughout the world, they may not have clean water, but they have smartphones. And if you have been affected by cancer, either the patient or the person that loves and supports them, then you are a buddy. And we are building this. And it is amazing technology that we have volunteers that have been building, but we need to be able to have the funds to house it correctly, to be able to then have the programs in place because we have them designed and ready to go. We need to be able to have the funds to be able to ease the suffering of those that are affected by cancer. We can do this. We don't need the big, nothing against, I want to be very clear on this, guys. Nothing against the big nonprofits. Many of us are alive because of the work that they've done. Thank you for that. However, we also know, because many of us that have been through this know that the community piece of it is something that is still needed. Yeah. So, what is that you do? A grassroots effort. You decide that it's time for us to use the digital medium that we all have. It's free out there. It's an accessible resource. And we can touch people throughout the world. And then to be able to have the proper programs in place, to be able to possibly retrain, to be able to help them to get through, but how do they even access resources that they may not know that they qualify for? That, we are also part of the reason that Giving Tuesday is so important, Barbara. I don't know if you know this. You may. I talk about it some, and that is that one of my senior advisors is one of the chief architects with the Americans with Disabilities Act, Sherry Watson. And the history of ADA is that one nonprofit decided to go out there and connect with other nonprofits. And by the time they had it all together, there were 800 nonprofits that came to the table. Think of that big table. Think of that. Ha! Right? Yeah. So they had their table, they had their chair, or there were some in iron lungs. There were some in, the stories I've heard, pretty incredible. But they were able to hash out the language for ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. Well, one of the chairs that did not get someone was cancer, because we didn't survive back then.
Wow.
We were not invited to that party. We were not invited to that dinner. However, it was something that she had been looking for, because she knew that that was something that she had both her mother and father affected by cancer. And she's gone live with me before, and she's a service hero. I have clips of her. I know she's doing something for her Giving Tuesday today, because she's the one that actually taught me about Giving Tuesday and how important it is to do something about it, and to be able to highlight it, because her whole mission is to have 10,000 nonprofits out there making a difference, of which we are one. And our difference is that we are going to actually change the way cancer is done. And it can be done. It was done with ADA. And before ADA became ADA, are you aware that, I forgot this, but if you were in a wheelchair, you weren't allowed on an airplane.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that.
Because they didn't have the ability to get you off.
Get on, yeah.
And all the emergency. If you were in a wheelchair and you wanted to go and access somewhere that had steps, many times there was not a ramp, or there was maybe not a sink for you to wash your hands that was accessible, or a toilet for you to go and use.
Go in, yeah.
And a door that was big enough for it. These are things now we think nothing of because of that law. They changed that. This is what we are going to be doing here with Chemo Buddies for Life, is we are that grass movement. And our hub that we are in the process of building, the beta, which it is, the back end is built, guys. The back end is built. And our volunteers know our technical team, aren't they spectacular? Tony and the group, aren't they amazing?
Oh my God, Tony and
and Christy
awesome.
and the whole Aaron and the whole group.
Aaron, she's an angel.
She is, and so we have the technology. We just need some fine tuning, and then we are going to be able to bring this out to the world, and within it, create a hub where this nonprofit will be able to join with all the other cancer-related nonprofits that are not raising funds for. That's the one thing. We are going to keep ourselves grassroots, that we're serving our people. That if you're raising funds for cancer research, thank you. However, we want to bring together those small guys, if you will, throughout the world, so that we have a place that we can all, a hub. This is a nonprofit, and we can do that. So let's see if you right now are watching, we're asking you to go to the website. Let me get that up right now. Go to the website, go to the donate button, and donate. We want to see right now, let's get a start. Let's see that number get over 1,000 right now. We're at 800 something change. Let's get to 1,000 and start the momentum going forward. And if all of you that are watching right now, if you were to donate $5, $10, $15, $20, and then call 5 people, text 5 people, and ask them to do the same thing, we would be over that $1,000 and start that momentum going for this 36 hours.
Yes.
So we are going to be entertaining you. We are going to be inspiring you. And I wanted you to be able to meet Barbara.
Oh, thank you.
Because Barbara is, and please don't be intimidated by the donate button. And in it, there is an opportunity for you to be able to, in memorial or in honor of, we still don't have the forever. Tony, if you're watching this, or Christy or Aaron, we need the forever button put onto the site too. I forgot to ask for that yesterday. But in honor of is someone that is out there fighting the good fight, and you want to say, go, person, go, please, and put their name. We're going to be shouting them out through this program in memory of. Please put their names. We'll be sharing that. And forever is all of the above.
Yep.
I guess right now. So, Barbara, thank you for being with me. We are going to be going to hour number 2. Join me in just a moment. See you soon. Come back. Bye.